So it is time to start. Hello and welcome everyone to XTEN-AV's webinar on all about questionnaire. So in today's webinar, we're going to talk about the questionnaire method of doing designs in XTEN-AV. In the previous few webinars, we have covered the XDraw method of doing designs. We have covered proposals. So today we're going to do the questionnaire method of doing designs in XTEN-AV. So again, thanks to everyone who could take out time to join in. As you could see, we have. I'll just give a couple more minutes because I am getting a few messages from some people who are still joining in. So we'll just give one more minute and then we'll start. So great. So those of you who are joining in for the first time on XTEN-AV and who don't know what XTEN-AV is, so I'll just give you a quick overview. XTEN-AV is the world's first cloud-based AI-powered AV design platform, which lets you design end-to-end commercial AV systems. Yes, commercial AV systems as per AVIXA standards and design guidelines. We are the only platform or software in the world which automates drawings and documents, and it creates 7 types of documents automatically, which are line schematics, rack layouts, scope of work documents, signal flow diagrams, ceiling speaker layouts, cable schedule. All of these documents are generated automatically. We also have pretty extensive CRM features for collaboration between team members. We do have integration with third-party software such as Salesforce and Solutions 360. We're also working on integrations with QuickBooks and Zoho CRM. And we have a full-fledged drawing tool as well. So we have XDraw, which is a full drawing tool, just like your Microsoft Visio or Lucidchart. And we also have a built-in proposal tool. I don't know if any of you were able to join in the last webinar for the proposal tool. So XTEN-AV is a combination of 3 softwares into one, and it is the only software which automates drawings and documents. So you get a lot of features in just a single package. And in today's times, when everyone is going through this crisis, everyone's working through home, cloud-based softwares with multiple features and efficiencies and role definitely help you to bring down your costs, increase efficiency, and most importantly, allow you to work from anywhere because it's a cloud-based software, so you can work. You just need an internet connection and a web browser. So that's a brief overview about XTEN-AV. If you would like to know more, then once you sign in, you can see this dashboard. You can go under your trivia and tutorial sections. This is where you will find all the self-help material, like the guided tours, and the most importantly, all of the webinars which we have done recently. So let's say if you just want to watch a full product demo, this is, by the way, we do this weekly as well. But let's say you want to watch it at your own pace, just go to trivia and tutorials and you'll find the YouTube link here. This is just a full product demo. If you want to know about the proposal tool, this is the one. And if you want to learn about XDraw, this is the one. So today's webinar is also going to be uploaded here, so which will be all about questionnaire. We already have done a webinar on questionnaire some time back, but that's going to go away because we have added a lot more features in here. And these are all YouTube links, so you could find these on our YouTube channel as well. Just search XTEN-AV on YouTube and you will find our YouTube channel. So you could either access these videos on the trivia and tutorials page, or you could just directly go on the YouTube and find our channel and subscribe to it and watch our videos. So you will find a lot more videos than the ones which you see here. Anyways, so let's start off with today's webinar. So today we're going to do questionnaire. So questionnaire is one of the design methods in Extra by which you can do a complete audiovisual and control design. This method allows you to automate drawings and documents, and it also allows you to complete your solution as per AVIXA standards and design guidelines. So without wasting much more time, let me just go inside and show you how do we create designs in using questionnaire method. So this is your dashboard. So first thing you've got to do is find a project where you can add a new design. So you can find all your projects under all projects or my projects or shared with me, or you can create a new project. Just for this time, I am going to start by creating a new project. So this is the form which you get. So I'm going to give this a name, questionnaire webinar, client name, XTEN-AV users, select the region you are in, select the vertical which you're working in. Let's do enterprise, give a short description, QA webinar. And then you could select, if you're an administrator and you are part of different groups, so then you could choose in which group you want to add that project. So my account is configured to be an administrator, so that's why I can choose which group, in which group I want to add this. So the concept of groups and user access levels is something which you're going to cover in the next webinar, which is in another couple of weeks. I'm going to talk about that a bit later. So you hit next, then you enter a budget you want to work in, and stage, what stage the project is in right now. So let's say is in the concept design stage. What is the start date? Procurement date is when you expect the project to be, when you want to procure the items from your suppliers to deliver to your customers. So it's typically 2 or 3 months out when you hit submit. So once you hit submit, it will create a new project. And the first thing it will do is when you create a new project, you'll have to add a design. So once you create a new project, first thing it will ask after hitting submit is the template. So these are the templates which you could choose from. So as you could see, there is pretty much everything in here, except for, hotels and public address system, which should come out soon. But if there's anything which you find is not there, then you could choose the template other. But you've got to be mindful of the fact that if you choose other as a template, then you cannot use the questionnaire method to do the design. So for doing the questionnaire method, you will have to use any of the templates which we have there, except for other, and hotel and public address is not active anyways. So before other, everything that you have here, you can do questionnaire method. For everything else, you can do it in Extra or add your own one. So I'm going to choose a design, give it a name, QA meeting room. Number of designs is actually the similar number of rooms for a single room type. So you can have in a project, you can have a 10-seater meeting room, which is spread across the campus, and there are 10 types of these spread across the campus. So that's what it means. You can just increase the quantity here, and it will allow you to, it will multiply the quantities simultaneously for each room. So Extra, I'll give you a brief overview what Extra is. So Extra is a standalone drawing editing tool. So in this, you just search and add the products from your own library or XTEN-AV library. And then we create the blocks in the drawing panel, and then you make your connections yourself. So that's what Extra is. One of the cool features with Extra is that you can create the product blocks on the spot yourself. You have the ability to do that. So if there's any product which you could not find in our database or in your library, you can create it on the spot, and it gets saved in your library. permanently. So that's there. In questionnaire, we're going to do questionnaire. Add your own BOM is is similar to questionnaire, but in the sense that it gives you the automation, but it does not give you the pain of going through the set of questions. So here in add your own BOM, you can just add the products from your existing design, and then you have to do some minor configurations to complete your design, and you will get automated drawings and documents. However, it's still in beta, so we would recommend not to rely on it too much at the moment. We're still working with the users to make it 100%. We believe that it's still 70 to 80%. Anyways, if you find any issues, you just switch to extra or questionnaire, which are perfectly good and really working well. So questionnaire, as it says, is based on AVIXA standards, and it's a set of questions which we ask for different type of rooms which you're doing, like if you're doing an auditorium, house of worship, video wall, meeting rooms. So based on the type of template which you're working on, there'll be a set of questions that you answer. We calculate the specifications as per AVIXA standards. You choose your preferred manufacturers, and then we fetch the exact specs from those manufacturers, and you add those products to your BOM. You step by step build a BOM, and after the BOM is complete, we automate the drawings and documents. So that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to create a design in questionnaire. So I'll just click on answer questionnaire and hit create design. And why I'm seeing few people are asking questions in the chat window. So I would suggest that whatever questions which you have, you please put in the Q&A section. That gives us a record of all the questions asked in the webinar, and then we can systematically answer all the questions that you have. So you can just type in whatever questions that you have, just type in the Q&A. And if required, if we are having issues, then we will also unmute you so you can talk and explain your question as well. But it's important that you put all your questions in the Q&A. Okay, so once you add the design, it will be here, and then you'll see that there's a start button here. To add more designs, this is your project page. To add more designs, just click on add designs, and it will give you the same list of templates. So you can add more types of rooms to your project. Couple of new, very cool features which you've added is now a download zip button. This actually allows you to download all the drawings and documents associated with all the project, all the rooms, all the designs that you have in the project. So once you click on it, it will send you an email with the link where you can download all the zip documents. So you will get all the documents in one place. So that's it. And we have covered the floor plans and upload attachments in previous webinars. You can check that out. So let's start designing. So I click on start. So this brings us to our design page for the questionnaire. So you will see that there are 6 tabs here on the top. So there is general. So general section is your basic information about the room, like your room dimensions, seating capacity, seating pattern, passive video sources. Now, passive video sources, don't get confused if you don't see stuff like video conferencing and switchers in here. Passive video sources are, stuff like laptops and desktop, which are not specific to an AV manufacturer. So rest of the other AV stuff you'll get in the video section. So you just add those. And similarly, video, audio, and control, you will find questions for different types of products. And you step by step complete that. Bill of material is where you will see the list of all the products which you have added. And calculations is where you will see just the specifications of each type of product calculated by our algorithms. So that's what the first 6 tabs are here. Now you see these links. So these are quick shortcuts. If you want to go back to your project page, you just click on it and it will take you back to the project page. The second one is actually your view design page, which takes you to all the documents which are generated for your design. but it does not make sense to go to this page until you have completed all these sections and once you have hit the generate design button. Before that, if you will go in the view design page, which is where you get all your documents, you will see everything will be empty and you will not be able to get anything. So it says, you have to complete the bill of material. So remember this, once all the sections are complete, then you can come here and click on it. And once you hit generate design, then it makes sense to click this. But if you want to go back to the project, this is the one. And it also gives you an indication that the design which you're making is for this project and for this room. And this is the name of the template which you're designing, which is obviously not clickable. Anyway, so let's start designing. You can obviously choose whether you want working feet and meters. So I'm going to do feet. So let's give my room some dimensions, length, width, and height, seating capacity. Now, seating pattern, if any of these are not there, then you could just choose other. These are typically required to suggest the number of microphones based on the seating capacity which you have chosen in a room. Now, passive video sources. So I'm going to choose 2 laptops and 1 desktop. There are options for Blu-ray player, streaming device, Apple TV, or something like a document camera. So if you do not have any of these, you don't need to enter anything here, even 0. You can just ignore them. And towards the end, we have 1 VGA. So if you don't want this, you can just ignore it. Or if there are any legacy systems that you're working on, you can just add it and hit continue. So once you hit continue, you will see your previous section gets complete automatically, and you are then forwarded to the next section, which is the video section. It is imperative that you follow the guide on this design page, because it will step-by-step guide you to complete your BOM. So do not skip, stuff to like directly go under control, because it will not work. There is a logic, there are algorithms which are working in the backend, for which you have to make sure that you are going with the flow. First you complete the video section, the audio section, and the control section. And then you go to bill of material. However, having said that, though we try and standardize on AVIXA standards, but we do also take care of all the PNCs, all the different types of technologies which are used in commercial AV designing. So it is highly unlikely that if 2 people are using the questionnaire method of doing designs, they will end up making a similar design, because if you're a good designer, you will make good choices. If you're a bad designer, you'll make bad choices, or whatever is good for your customer, the best. Anyway, so moving forward, the first thing is asking is for the room orientation. So these subsections which you see here, we call them in our technical language as accordions. So these accordions will guide you step by step. So we need to know the room orientation to calculate the last viewing person's distance from the screen. Then you hit next. Now there is no need to save. There is no save button here. So you just have to follow the guide. Once a section says it's completed, which means it's automatically saved. So the choices which you have made are automatically saved. So if I will just reload, even if for some reason I lose my connection, I will reload the page, your choices will remain in there. See, all your general section is there because you hit continue. So all these blue buttons, anywhere which you see, these are like save buttons. So you'll see even in the video, I refreshed the page, but my choices are in here intact. So just remember that there is auto save already in there. So the next thing is asking me for a professional display in a meeting room. So I'm going to say yes to it. Now the questions which you will see here are most of them based on AVIXA standards and design guidelines. If you do not understand anything, you can just hover on the I button and it'll give you more information about the question. So I'm going to do basic decision making, which involves PowerPoint reading in Excel. And obviously it covers the previous one, which is for video conferencing and watching videos. So placement of display, you can choose either front walls, side walls, or both. So you will see the questions are based on a lot of the time functional requirements in a type of room. Like in a meeting room, you can have displays on the front walls as well as on the side walls as well. So it's the choices, you get all the choices. Then you choose your resolution. So once you're done with the tech part, it gives you a list of makes to choose from. So most of the places on the platform, you could choose multiple makes, right, to compare different products. So you choose, let me choose NEC and LG, and then I hit find products. So as soon as I do find products, the algorithms will at the back end do the calculations as per the standard. They will also tell you what this name of the standard is from AVIXA and what's the ideal specs which you should be looking at based on the choices which you have made. And at the same point of time, it will also fetch the same products as per the specs it has calculated from the makes which you have chosen. So if you have uploaded your pricing, if you manage your pricing on our platform, there is a custom pricing section under organization settings where you can upload your pricing in one go in an Excel file. This is custom pricing, so you just download the sample file and you can upload hundreds and thousands of products in one go. So we will automatically map those products and the pricing for that in your local currency here. If you have not given a price for certain product, then you will see the MSRP price in your local currency. And at the same point of time, you get this I tool, which allows you to download the tech sheet of that product right there from our servers. Pretty cool. So you select the model, you add the quantity, and you hit add to BOM. So now you see the product has been added to your bill of material. And if you'll go to the bill of material section, you'll find that it has been added. Now, similarly, you go ahead and so the section gets closed automatically once you've added a product, and it guides you to go on to the next section. So you'll see step by step, the sections are getting green. So it's guiding you to complete the form. So do you need an interactive display? If you want, you could just use it. I'll say no to it. Let's say you want to do projector screen. I would say yes, just to show it to you, all the options which are there. Again, basic decision making on analytical decision making. Since we're using projector screens here, general viewing is out of the question because obviously you're going to go for a larger screen size. So if you choose analytical decision making, tells you it's for CAD drawings and all those things. But there's an important thing to remember that if you use analytical decision making as per the standard of AVIXA, it might result in a very high projector brightness. However, there's one thing which I forgot to tell you was that we do have the ability by which you can override in all the section, which you can override the recommendations made by the algorithm. So let's say you don't want to do a 98-inch one. Let's say you want to do a 70 or 80-inch one. So it will fetch that product for you. So you don't have to be bound by the recommendation made by the algorithm. You can override it and choose your spec as well. And this is possible everywhere on the platform in all the sections. So coming back to the projector screens, let's do basic decision making again. Where do I want? Let's only front wall. There are multiple resolutions which you could choose. Whether you want a ceiling mount, a wall mount, projector screen, a ceiling mount. Then it gives you a list of makes which we have. So if you don't find your projector screen, do not worry if there's any brand which you're missing. Projector screen, once you complete your design, you could just replace it in the final BOM, edit it out, and put in the one which you need. You can even search from your library later and add it. So in Questionnaire, we have set brands and set products because we need the data in a certain format to make it work. So it's very difficult for us to add any product on the go, because if we have to add any make or any product in the questionnaire, it has to go through a very rigorous testing cycle, because a single error can spoil the whole thing, because this works like a symphony. It works like a very, very nice flow. It guides you and step by step builds the BOM and then connects the devices. So just be mindful of that fact. So let's add a matte white screen. So these are actually the surfaces of the screen. So if you want to know more about what type of surface is this, you just click on learn more, and it will bring you to the page of that that screen and what kind of surface is that. So just be mindful of that fact. So anyways, so again, you can override it. It's recommending 102-inch. The nearest available in the material is 106-inch. But if you want to override, go above and beyond, it's your choice. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to add the quantity which I need, and then click Active BOM. Now it's first asking you for the projector screen, because to calculate the projector brightness, we need to know the screen gain. That's as per the standards. So that's why you select the screen. So now we know the gain of the screen. So now we can calculate the specs for the projector. So we need to know the ambient light level at the screen location. You can obviously use lux or foot candles, whatever unit you're working in. If you don't know exactly, typically the default is 55 lux. If you know, you can just enter the value yourself or just go by the default. You select the type of projector, LCD or DLP, short throw or long throw, whether you need HD-based connectivity or not. And then you select the make and hit find products again. Again, so it gives you two brightnesses, one for a lamp-based projector and a laser-based projector. And you can filter it out whether you want to see lamp-based only or you want to see laser-based only. Again, that flexibility is there. And then you can choose to override the suggestions or the brightness made here. So just remember that fact. So let's add a projector. Oh no, these are pretty expensive. Anyways, I'm just giving an example so I can just add this. Click add to BOM. Now it comes on to the video. So you'll see step by step, it's closing out the previous sections and guiding you to the next section. So now it's come to the video conferencing. So you say yes. So now you'll see why I was saying that, you know what, we have all the PNCs and all the type of scenarios possible as a designer. So you can either choose a hardware-based video conferencing, software-based video conferencing, or you could actually choose both, which is pretty common these days. Or you can go for a package solution, which we have a few packages from Cisco and Atlona, but I would just do both. So I'm going to go with hardware and software both. So how many cameras do you need? Main cameras. So I'm going to say one. I don't need a multi-point license. Now it gives me the list of makes to choose from. We have all the hardware codecs in here. So I'm going to choose Cisco. And then it will fetch all the Cisco codecs. So we have the Cisco room kits in here. I'm gonna add one more here, multi-point license, Cisco again, and hit find products. So a lot of the times you will see that there are some products which you will not find, which you're looking for. The best way is you go back and look at your answers and change your answers, try and do different PNCs, because the algorithms work in different ways. Different products have different specs. So if you're looking for a specific product, if you don't find it in the first go, check under show more. If you still don't find it, go back and think again about the answers which you've made. Try and do some changes in your answers and then come back. Like I was looking for the Cisco Room Kit Pro, which I couldn't find in the previous one. So I just came back here, added a multi-point license because I know this will show up then. So I add this. So do you want primary and secondary VC outputs to switcher? You know, this is typically for content sharing. So I'm just gonna say no to it. You could say yes. The only difference it will make is on the drawings. So you will get two outputs from the switcher if you say yes, going to the VC, and if you say no, it will be just one. So add to BOM. Now it's going to ask me for the UCC devices. So I can either choose just a USB camera or a UCC device. A UCC device is a combination of either a web camera, a speaker, and a microphone. At least it has got a speaker and a microphone built in if it does not have a USB camera. So if you know a UCC device which does not come with the USB camera, you can just choose both. Or if you know a device, UCC device, which comes with the USB camera, you just choose the UCC device. So then you got to tell the system do you want to connect it with a laptop or you want to connect it with a desktop. So I'm going to go with laptop because we have bring your own device concept these days. So now these are the makes which you can choose from. So I know I'm going to go with AMX because it has got a camera built in. So select yes, click add to BOM. So the video conferencing section is over. It had subsections of, hardware conferencing, video software conferencing. It's complete. And then it brings me to the wireless gateway to share wireless content on the display and the projector. So I'll say yes. How many laptops require simultaneous presentation sharing? So let's say just one. I'll do Barco, find products. CS100, add to BOM. So you see how the flow is, how smooth it is. It's step by step. You can compare products. You can see if, what the competition has. You can see different makes in here. So, and this is really good for, for experienced designer, they will say, oh, I already know what my system is going to be like. But for them also, if they really want to compare between different products, what are the different options? Because typically we get used to just working with one type of product. So for experienced people, it can help you to compare between different products, what are the different options under different categories in competition, or for that purposes. For an experienced person, you can use the questionnaire method. And if you are starting off, if you're a fresher, this is a great learning tool for you. If you are new to the AV industry, this is a great learning tool for you. So whichever way you want to use it. And the automation is, you're going to get the automation which is valuable whether you are experienced or you're just starting off, because it saves a lot of time. So the next one is streaming and recording device. I'm going to say no to it. So different templates. So just remember different templates. Like, let's say if you go to a Zoom room or a classroom or an auditorium, the concept will remain the same, but the questions might differ. The type of products might differ. So today I'm just going to show you the meeting room, which is probably the most popular of them all. But the concept, whether it's any template, the way of doing it on our system will remain the same, the way I am doing it right now. So let's say I don't want an annotation system, so I just say no to it. Now switching an interfacing system. This is a very interesting part. So I say yes to this. Now you'll see that all type of choices you can make. You can go for an HDBaseT based one, AV over IP, AVB, normal cabling. We're thinking of adding SDVOE, which is picking up these days, which is pretty new. So we'll add that as well. But if you're a designer, you have all the options available for you. So I'm going to show you an HDBaseT based system. So select HDBaseT. You see how it moves so smoothly. You just select, you choose the answer, it scrolls automatically and takes you to the next question. So it is designed very, very, in a way that it allows you least amount of strain while you're designing a system. So number of clicks we've tried to reduce as much as possible, and even the number of questions as well, because some of you guys, if you are experienced designer, you can say that there can be many questions in here, but then again this whole thing will become a big exercise. So we've tried to keep it as short as possible. I'm going really slow today because I want to show you everything in detail. But if you get used to it, you can fly through this, you know, in like, you can complete a design in like 5 minutes once you get used to it. Anyway, so let me do a matrix. So you get all the options in here. Just remember, an all-in-one switcher, if you choose an all-in-one switcher, it will give you a DSP and control system. So once you will go to the audio section, and if you'll say yes, then towards the DSP, it will give you an option that whether you want to go for an external DSP or not, because your all-in-one switcher here will have a DSP built in, similarly for a control system. So we have taken care of all those scenarios, right? And even amplifiers, you know, so in the audio section, if you can just skip the amplifiers if you've chosen an all-in-one switcher. So anyway, so I'm going to show you everything in detail. So that's why I'm going to choose a matrix switcher. A configurable matrix is a chassis based one. Standard is, we all know, it gives you a single output across all the output channels. So matrix is multiple in, multiple outs. So I'm going to choose Extron. Now it's going to ask me for whether I need a transmitter or receiver or both. I'll just say both. Now this is very interesting. So what we have done is all the combinations which are available across all these manufacturers, which are the top interfacing switching system manufacturers in the world, we have, we don't give you the exact model numbers, but as a designer, you know under table how many HDMI or VGA points I need, right? So here I've chosen just 2 laptops and 1 desktop. That desktop is probably directly go inside the rack. So once I'm under video, so I know that I just need 2 HDMIs and I have chosen 1 VGA in here. So I can just come in here and I can just choose one of this. Or if I want, I just, for the heck of it, just I'll add 2. Then there are other options like, you know, all the transmitters which are available in Extron. So there is a combination of 2 HDMI, 1 VGA, 1 HDMI, 1 0 VGA. All these combinations are there under different types as well. So we have taken care of, you know, wall plate type. What are the combinations available under wall plate? What are the combinations available under floor box? So that's pretty unique. You will not find this anywhere in the world. Not even all these manufacturers have this way of, you know, allowing their users or customers to design systems using their products. So this, we put in a lot of work into this. A lot of hard work has gone into this, and we have hard coded this for all these manufacturers. You can imagine how many products are out there just for transmitters and receivers. And then we suggest you the corresponding switcher as well. Then that's pretty unique. So the ones which you don't need, just ignore them. You don't need to enter 0 or anything in there. Now receivers, I have a display and I have a projector. So I'll probably need 2. Next, so it's going to ask you for the connectivity pattern of your switching system. So a lot of the times, you know, we go for a standard switching system, which a transmitter, a switcher in between, and a receiver. But many times, to save on the cost of the HD-based ports, because those are expensive. So we use something like a combination of transmitter and receiver before the switcher, so that, you know, we use the HDMI port on the switcher instead of using the HD-based port. Similarly, on the outside, we use a combination of TX, RX, and we use the HDMI port instead of using the HD-based port. But in here, we also have sub patterns, right? So whether you want to go for a transmitter receiver before the switcher and just an RX after the switcher. So all these permutations and combinations, these are very, very unique. You know, this is, no one does this in the world. So we do that. And so this one is going to be simple. So I'm just going to use the transmitter, switcher, and receiver, and then I hit find products. So now it will first show me the exact make and model as per the transmitter and receiver combination I've chosen. So these are the 2 options available. So both of these have 2 HDMIs and 1 VGA outputs. If you want to know more, just click on the I tool and it will download the tech sheet for you, or it will take you to the web page of that product. So you can know exact specs of that, or you can read more specifications if you want. It does the same thing. So I just add this, and then receiver similarly. one HDMI output. These are the options which are available. So I just select, and now I'm going to find the switcher. So if I click on find products, it is going to find the switcher for me. So again, it first does the calculations, and then it fetches the specs as per the calculation. So as per the inputs which you've given so far, you know, all the video conferencing, streaming, recording, wireless gateway, based on it, it calculates how many ins and out you will need on your switcher. But there's a way to override it as well. So if you don't agree with this, or you don't find the right switcher for you, and you know the exact spec of the switcher you're looking for, you can just enter that spec. Anyways, I'm not going to do that. So I will select one of the products and hit add to BOM. So many times we need a distribution amplifier. So that's also just pretty intelligent, but I'm not going to use a distribution amplifier on the output of my switcher. So I'm just going to say no to it, but you can obviously say yes if you're doing a design. So now you will see the video section is complete, and it takes you to the audio section automatically. So the audio section, first thing is ask is, do you need an audio system? If you don't need an audio system, you just want to do design video, you can just say no. You know, you can skip the whole thing, but I'll say yes. We're going to show you all the options which are there. So we have all the you know, types of microphones. So standalone. So if you click on standalone, you will see you will get all the options: boundary, gooseneck, ceiling, beamforming mic. If you go inside these, you will see all the different variables which are available in the boundary mics. You know, similarly in gooseneck, all the different variables which are available, ceiling mics. So that's there. And if you totally want to skip the microphones, you can just say not required. You can also choose conference systems, you know, integrated conference systems, which could be analog or digital. Or if your VC has microphones built in, or they come with the microphone, you can choose a VC codec microphones, or you could just say not required. So that's possible. So I'm going to show you standalone microphones. I'm going to add a beamforming mic. So again, we have all these options which are available. Ceiling tile mics. Now the brands which you'll see in audio section are based on the choices which you make, and whichever brands make those choices. And you could only choose one here. So let's say I want to do biamp, and I hit find products. So there's there's a huge level of intelligence built in. So here it tells you, if you choose a biamp, beamforming, ceiling microphone, you have to use a DSP with AVB technology, because that microphone works with that technology only. If you choose a Shure microphone, it will tell you that you will have to use the DSP with Dante technology or AES67 standard. So that level of intelligence is built into the system, so as to make sure that you make least amount of mistakes. So I'm going to add a biamp microphone. So you're okay to this. So it's going to give me the biamp parlay microphones. It's going to recommended quantity, and we have hard coded the way biamp publishes the way microphone should be connected. So you've got a main unit and you've got an extension unit. So just add that. So recommended quantity is 2, which is typically based on the number of people in the room suggested by the manufacturer. However, if you want to override the recommended quantity, you can just skip and add the quantity. You can just ignore this and add the quantity which you want. So I'll just go with the recommended one and click add to BOM. Wireless microphones, I'll just quickly say yes. So you can have a single microphone package in which there's just one transmitter and one receiver, or a multiple microphone package where there are multiple transmitters and one receiver. So I'll just go easy stuff. One lapel microphone, one handle, one head on. Sure, and find products. So just add all the mics that you need. Typically, you don't need these in a meeting room, but I'm just showing it so that you know. Oh, so now we come on to the speakers. I say yes to speakers. We have wall mount, ceiling speakers, pendant speakers. You can have in a meeting room. You'll obviously not have, line arrays in a meeting room. So you'll find those, when you're designing auditoriums or, sports bar or lounge bars, those kind of places. So based on the type of templates, you'll see different options in there, as I told you before. So I'm going to go with ceiling speakers. It's asked for the coverage, what kind of coverage I'm looking at. So let me go with partial overlap. Do you need a mix minus? Probably no one does this. We'll probably remove this question from here. And if you want to know, so a lot of the places, you have this I button. So as I said, it's a great learning tool. If you want to know about mix minus, you just click on the learn more and it'll give you some document, nice document from a manufacturer about what the mix minus system is. So then the background noise level to calculate the required wattage and decide the target SPL, which should be for the speakers. Again, this is as per all the VIXA guidelines. Specify the headroom. Now you can choose the acoustics of the room. So if you choose a glass or reflective material, the only thing is that it recommends you to go for a beam steering speaker so you can control the coverage and there will be less reflections in the room. But if you say no to it, it will have no effect. It'll just give you the same options which it will give if you choose wood panel or carpet. So I'm going to go with low impedance. Or let's do a constant voltage system. I'm going to choose. So again, one thing which I forgot to tell you was all the makes which you will see everywhere are alphabetically ordered. So it's easy for you to find the make which you're looking for. So I'm going to go with Tannoy here and hit find products. Let me see if there are any questions. So far there are no questions. That's pretty good because I am assuming that all of you are getting everything which is being said. So that's great. So it will find the speakers for you. Again, like I said, one thing to remember that it's autosave. So let's say you forgot something or your computer crashes, you can just do refresh and it will, you can start from wherever you left. So there is autosave. So I did this just to remind you that this is there. You don't have to save the whole thing again and again. So you'll see even my choices which I have made in the speakers are also saved in here. We'll probably have to do find products again because I had not added the product yet. So it will find for speakers. There are hundreds of ceiling speakers in each manufacturer, so it takes a bit longer than usual, but it should show up in a few seconds. There you go. So you have the speakers with the recommended quantity. Again, you have the ability to filter them out with the wattages. So let's say I want to filter out just the 20 to 50 watts. And then let's see what options which are available in here. So yeah, so I was actually looking for the CVS4 one. So I'll just add this. Again, you make your changes, use the, the filters to get to your right product. So the more you will use it, the better you will become. So the recommended quantity is 6. If you want to override, you can override. But please remember, when we generate the ceiling speaker layout tool, then we can just show you the placement. If you're not going with the recommended quantity, we will not be able to show you the exact right coverage. The coverage might be shown, but it would not be as per partial overlap or edge to center. Just remember that. So you add to BOM. So my speakers are now added. So now comes to the amplifier section. So I can choose a mixer amplifier or a power amplifier, whatever choices you want to make. So I'm going to go with power amplifier. Do you need an amplifier with DSP? I'll say no. Do you need a network? I'll say no. And then I'll select a brand and hit find products. Again, you have the ability to override the recommendations, but I'm not going to do that here. So if you click here, you can override the recommendation and then click add to BOM. It brings us to the DSP section. So I say yes to the DSP. And is it an open architecture or closed architecture? So I'll have to choose open. So I can see which brands are making those. So the only option which it's giving me is AVB audio network, because I've chosen a bi-amp parlay microphone, which only works with AVB. So if you choose other type of microphones, you'll see other type of networks which you could choose. So I say yes to VoIP and POTS. I'll say yes to GPIO. And USB audio, it's by default asking you to say yes, because you have chosen a unified communications based software codec based conferencing system. So you'll have to say yes to it. So you can get a DSP with USB audio. If you need wall controllers, if you want, you can choose. If you need dialers for the DSP, you can say yes. So the only make which I get is bi-amp, because the choices which I've made above only correspond to one brand. So I hit find products. And it will find the right DSP for me. It will again give me the specs, but I can override it. I can put in my own specs if I do not agree with this. So it fetches the right model for me, and I hit add to BOM. So now you'll see the audio section is also complete. So it brings me to the final last section, which is the control section. Control section is pretty straightforward. So first thing, if you have a UCC device, nowadays you can control a UCC device with the iPad, especially if you're using Zoom, Zoom rooms or those kind of solutions. So I'm just gonna say no to this. So now you say yes to control system, whether I need a box type or a wall. So there are smaller control systems which go inside the wall, which I've got control ports built in. So this is for that, but I'm gonna go with the box type, which can be mounted in a rack. How do I want to control my systems? I'll say with a touch panel. I could actually do both. I'm sorry. Which type of touch panel is required? So I'm going to do wired, 7 inches. Do you need a separate control keypad? No, I just go with the touch panel. Now it gives me the option to choose how am I going to control the devices which I've added in the BOM. Now, very interesting, there is a way by which you can add the receivers which you've added in your design to control your display and your project, which is a new thing which we have added. So if you want to do that, you can do that, but I'm going to go with the regular RS-232. Projector screen is going to go with relay, video conferencing codec is on LAN, switcher is on LAN, DSP, I'll do RS-232. Lighting device, we don't add lighting device, but if you have a lighting device in your room, you can just choose whether you want to control it, or you can just say not required. Then I'm going to select my make and hit find products. So again, you can override the specs if you want. I'm going to add control system, add to BOM. Then it brings me to the touch panel, the wired touch panels, add to BOM. If you need a room scheduling system, let's say I want, so find products again. So I add a room scheduling system, add the quantity, add to BOM. You need a table connectivity interface. These are cable cubbies. If you want, you could just add them, or I'll just say no to it. And do you need racks? I'll say yes. So these are the makes which we have for the racks. So just find products. So it will also calculate the number of RUs which you need, and based on it, it will fetch the racks for you. But you can override the number of RUs if you want a higher RU rack. And then each type of rack, we have these filters which you can filter out, whatever rack type you are looking for. So add this. So this is where, this is the final, this is where we complete the whole thing, and you hit generate bill of material. Now it's important to remember that we are not actually doing any accessories here. So we are not adding any cables, connectors, network switches, mounts. That's a work in progress for us. So initially we're just focused on the active devices, which are actually to be shown in drawings and documents. where you do the actual connectivity, but you can add the accessories later yourself in the BOM by editing the BOM yourself. Anyway, so now you'll see all the sections are complete, and we come on to the bill of material, and all the products which you've added are here, segregated as audio, video, and control, and the accessories, which are the racks and any other devices. So this is where the real magic will happen. You've added all the products step by step, built a BOM. You could do, I took almost 50 minutes to do this. However, you could just do it within 5 minutes once you get used to it. So now I'm going to hit generate design. So now as soon as I do generate design, our algorithms will analyze each type of product which you have chosen in your BOM. And based on that, they will start creating 7 type of documents, which will be fully complete documents. So what will be these documents? You will get a line schematic. You will get a signal flow diagram. You will get a rack elevation diagram, or we call it as rack layout. You will get a cable schedule with all the cable IDs in there. You will get a ceiling speaker layout, how the ceiling speaker layout is going to be. And you will also get an automated scope of work document. And after that, you can also create your own proposal for the whole design in the proposal tool. So it takes a couple of minutes because there's so many documents to be generated. So just be a little patient with that. There you go. So these are the documents which I was talking about. So you have the bill of material, the line schematics, signal flow diagram. So let me just show you how it looks like. So while it opens, let me just open up all the documents one by one. So this is your line schematic. You will see highly professional line schematics, all generated automatically. You know, with even the cable IDs are also built in, and everything is in place. My AMX Ascendo is in there. Connected to my laptop. My Cisco WebEx is in here. My transmitters are here. My receivers are here. My projector screen is here. Everything's connected to the LAN network. My control system is in place. Even my room scheduling system is in here. And you know how bi-amp parlay microphones are connected using their network boxes, everything. There's an AVB switch. All of this is generated automatically. It's not, there's no one sitting in the back end doing this manually. So, however, you can just go inside here and go inside the edit mode, and you can open up in Xdraw, and then you have the full flexibility of doing whatever editing you want to do. Watch the Xdraw webinar to know what kinds of editing which you can do in the editing tool. So that's there. And then you have the signal flow diagram, the second one. You know, you see really nice signal flow diagram, which are actually a pictorial representation of all the products which are there in your BOM. You know, you'll see all the pictures, really nice pictures, nicely created automatically for you. And then come back, and then we have the rack layout, which is again a rack elevation of how the equipments are stacked. So based on the actual rack size which you've chosen, I have chosen a 20 RU rack, so it will fill up the blank plates automatically. And again, you can go inside the editing tool and you can do all the editing, whatever editing you need yourself. You know, you can increase or decrease the rack size. You can move the items around. All of that is all possible. And then you get an automated cable schedule as well, which is as per AVIX's standard. All the cable IDs. These cable IDs are also, you will see these cable IDs in the drawings, in the line schematics as well. So you can download this in Excel and PDF and give it to your installers. Then if you have ceiling speakers in your design, you'll get a nice ceiling speaker layout as well. So we selected partial overlap, so you'll see it's doing partial overlap. So if you had selected, you know, edge to edge, it will probably cover the whole room pretty well. Also, and you can download this in a, you know, in an image and a PDF. And then we have the proposals, and then the scope of work. Again, it's automatically generated. So since you're following a questionnaire, it will allow you to it will automatically create a nice, scope of work document for you. We even go down onto the level of what's the tapping required and what's the voltage required, what's the power required in the speakers and the amplifiers. And then you could create a proposal. You've already probably would have seen the proposal webinar. If not, you can see that. How do we do that? Then we have the floor plans. Or if you want to download all these documents which are here, including your bill of material. So this, the bill of material is the same thing which you saw earlier. So you can download this in Excel and PDF, or you can just edit it and you can add any missing products which you probably need. Like projector, a mount or a cable or something like that. You can just add them and it will be added to your BOM. And then you can save it. Or if you wish to do the changes in the proposal tool, just, I would say, do not do any editing here. Just go inside the proposal tool and you can do the editing there. And then you get the floor plans as well. So floor plans, so this is where you can upload any of your existing floor plans in these formats. So let me give you a quick example of how do we do that. So you can just upload floor plan and it will upload the floor plan for you. And then you can open it up go inside, open up in Extra, and then you can do all your editing, whatever you need. You can just drag and drop items. You can search for shapes, or you can just drag and drop items and you can place them wherever you want, and you can do all of that editing. You can save all these documents here. You can just click on download zip and you will get an email on your registered email ID where you can download all these documents. If you want to upload any attachments to this particular design, like a site picture or any other site survey forms or anything, you can just upload any type of document except for a video file. You can upload any type of documents. Each user gets a 2 GB data storage available in their accounts. So that's the questionnaire. I think that's pretty much it in the questionnaire method of doing design. So that's how you create designs in the questionnaire. So if you go back in the project page, you will see that now your design is complete. And again, you can go back in the edit mode. So you can go back and you can open up the questionnaire again, and you can make any changes in here. You can change the products which you have added previously. And you will see, and then if you hit generate design again after doing any changes, so let's say I want to change my speaker or amplifier, I will have to do generate design again, and then it will create a new design with all the documents. It will update automatically. So having said that, we are working on a way by which once you complete a design in questionnaire, you can transfer the whole drawings and the BOM to XDraw, so that you can make any further changes to an auto-generated drawing, so that you can use the good, all the USPs of XDraw and the questionnaire together. It will further save you a lot of time. That's the next thing which you're working. So you will be able to transfer your drawings created from questionnaire into XDraw, so that you don't have to make all the connections from scratch in XDraw. You can just do minor changes, whatever changes you want. So that's what we're going to do. So yeah, so that's all about questionnaire today. Now, let me see if there are any questions. I do not see any questions right now. I'm launching a poll, so if you are there, please let us know how did we do, and if there's any feedback, you can mention that in the chat window. Let me see if there's any question. Okay, seems like there are not any questions. So you will again, you will find the webinar email to you, the YouTube link. Again, you will find it under this webinar, under the Q&A, the trivia and tutorial section. So you can find that. And if you want to know our next webinars, so go under events on our website, and it will give you a list of all the events or all the webinars which we are doing. So I can probably give a few more minutes if anyone has any more questions. So this is, our list of our events. So we do a weekly full product demo. So like today, I just discussed about questionnaire. In the full product demo, we give a full tour of the platform. So you can sign up for that. Or the next webinar in the next 2 weeks, which you're going to do on May the 20th, is on the CRM features and the user access level features. So you can sign up for that as well. Or you can sign up for any of the weekly demo, which we do every Tuesday, once 11 a.m. Eastern time and once 10 a.m. Pacific time. So if you want, you can sign up for this. Pretty simple. I am sure many of you would have signed up from that. So just click on it, and it will give you a registration link. So just click on the registration link and you'll be able to do that. So there's a question. I work in a house of worship environment, mainly with older buildings that require just a sound system and wall mounted speaker. How would I use XTEN-AV best for that application? I think that will be, you could use the XTRAW method for that, for doing designs. That will be the best. But if you know exact products which are there, then you could also probably use questionnaire as well, and you can probably make a similar design using the questionnaire as well. So XTRAW or questionnaire, you could use either of those for that purpose. Anyways, so if there are any other questions, please do let us know. If there are not, there is one more. Is it possible to purchase XTEN-AV Designer and XTRAW tool? Yeah, we do not have the XTEN-AV XTRAW to be purchased separately. If you'll see that, our pricing is actually pretty reasonable, and you get a lot of features like CRM, questionnaire. And now going forward, we're going to combine the questionnaire and XTRAW as well, so that you quickly make a design in questionnaire and then you transfer it to XTRAW, so that you don't have to make all the connections from scratch, and you still get the automation feature. So the pricing is pretty reasonable for a business, for a B2B environment with the kind, because there are products out there in the AV market which are just like proposal tool, which are almost charging $100 a month. And in just $59 a month for a single user, we're giving you a proposal tool, we're giving you a drawing tool. So you will see the XTRAW will pay for itself, and you'll probably not have to pay for a separate subscription for a Visio or AutoCAD, or some Lucidchart, some other drawing tools, and you get a lot many things in this. So price is pretty reasonable, I feel, in that. That is a good option. Okay, thanks David, I hope you like that. So yeah, so coming back to the pricing, $59 a month per user per month. If you are a business, then you can get all the user access level feature, team collaboration feature, custom pricing feature. You can get the custom pricing, which is manage your own pricing feature in basic as well, but you'll have to pay upfront for the whole year. By the way, you save 25%. That's a huge discount which we're giving on the annual subscription, which no one else gives. So you save on 25%, and then you also get the custom pricing feature as well in the basic plan as well. And if you're a business, it's 2241. Again, you save 25%. Anyway, so if there are any more questions, I don't think so. Well, okay, thank you everyone. Thanks for joining in for today's webinar. I hope all of you are staying safe. All of you are keeping safe and keeping indoors. So thank you very much. Have a good day. Have a good evening wherever you are. And I'll see you in the next webinar. Thank you.